Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the GDB, which is nothing but a debugger. So, first of all, what is GDB stands for? So, GDB stands for the GNU debugger. So, this is a powerful source level debugging package that lets you see what is going on inside your program. You can step through the code, set breakpoints, examine and change variables, and so on. So a debugger for several languages, like including C and C++, it allows you to inspect what the program is doing at a certain point during the execution. Debuggers are programs which allow you to execute your program in a controlled manner. So you can look inside your program to find a bug. So it's mostly used for the errors like a segmentation faults. So what happens sometimes, you can compile your code successfully, but there is an error like a segmentation faults. So it could be easier to find with the help of GDB. So GDB is a reasonably sophisticated text-based debugger. So it can let you start your program, specifying anything that might affect its behavior, make your program stop on specified condition, examine what has happened when your program has stopped, and also the change things in your program. So you can experiment with the correcting the effects of one bug and go on to learn about another. So this is a online manual where you can find the multiple commands which are used for this GDB. So there are multiple useful commands. Some of the common commands are also there. So we will discuss about that also with the examples. So first of all means how you can enable GDB in your code. So to use GDB while compiling the code, so here let's take an example of C code. So program one is a C code example. So here I'm trying to enable a GDB for that code. So what you have to do? So you should make sure that you are using a -g option to generate your object files. So this option tells the compiler to insert more information about the data types and data types. So debugger gets a better understanding of. So let's take an example. So here in program 1.c is a sample code which returns the factorial number of the number, means it returns a factorial number. So how can I compile this code using the -g option? So here I compile my code. So it generates the program one as my executable file. So when you do GDB to this program 1.c, then you go into the then you can see the GDB interactive shell more. So here what you can do if you want to load your this code, then you just have to use the file command. So by using that, you can load your executable. So before going to next, so we have done with this step. So here you are loading your executable. So next, just want to tell you that before going to further steps, like GDB has an interactive shell, much like the one you use as soon as you log into the Linux Grace machines. So it can recall history with the arrow keys and autocomplete words with the tab key, and also it has some nice features also. So if you want to learn about the GDB commands, you can just do you can just use the help command. So by using in GDB interactive mode, you can just type help, so it will show you the different commands. And also if you do just help all, then it will show you the other commands as well. So let's run our code with the this GDB. So as I said that if you type help, it will show you the list of the different commands. Some of them we are going to use in the data example. So if you do help all, it will show you the again different set of commands also. So let's run our code. So we already load our file, executable files for that program1.c code. So you just have to run. If you run, it will, so in this code, I am expecting the integer number, which so after entering the integer number, it will return the factorial number for that. If I enter a 5, it will return the factorial number of that code. So this is what this is actually exited normally because we don't have bugs in that code. So this is the normal execution of the code. So what if we have bugs in our code? So if I have a bugs, so what you can do, here are different options to debug your code. So suppose chances if this is in this case, you don't want to run a program without any stopping and breaking. Otherwise, we will just rush past the error and never find the root of the exact issue. So you will want to step through your code a bit a time and until you arrive upon the error. So these are the commands which by using that you can debug your code. So let's take an example of the breakpoints. Breakpoints is nothing but a GDB most useful command. So breakpoints are can be used to stop the program, run in the middle at a designated point. The simplest way is the command break. So you can use breakpoint also, or you can use break also. So suppose in my code, I want to set a breakpoint on the line 6. Let's take an example. I want to add a breakpoint on line 6. So you have to just give a syntax like break the code, your code, and the colon and that line number. So now if the program ever reaches that location when running, the program will pause and prompt you for another commands. You can set as many breakpoints as you want in the code. Suppose I want to set a breakpoint on the specific function also. So here, suppose this is the function. My function is the function which I'm using in my code. Suppose I want to add a breakpoint on this function, then you can add breakpoint on this function also. If you have another function, you can add a breakpoint on another function also. So you can add multiple breakpoints in this case. So in this example, here this is a small code which returns a factorial number. So I have just main function for this. So I can add a breakpoint on the main function. So it's showing that the breakpoint 1 is added at the main function, which is at line 3. So I have added breakpoint, but still I want to continue my code and the next execution. So I can just do continue. Yeah, so after adding the breakpoint, you have to do run again, and then you can use a continue command. So it will go to the next execution. So it's asking me again for entering the number. So it will again return a factorial number. Means after adding the breakpoint, you can continue your execution. So so this is related to breakpoint. So there are multiple, again we we will have multiple commands. So some of them useful commands I have listed here. So as we use this breakpoint, so you can pass. So in right now I am using just run command. So I don't have a command line arguments in my code. So if your program takes an arguments, so you can pass the argument list by using run and the argument list, whatever you have. You can add backtrace. So backtrace display the program stack, especially useful to find where your program crash or dump. So, and also print. By using print, you can print the variable which called. So by using next command, you can execute the next program line after stopping. Step over any functions calls in the line. So you can use step command also, which execute the next program. Like it's almost using the same. So the continue, which we use continue. So after stopping means after adding the breakpoint, I can continue my execution. And this command and command file. So GDB has another feature, like means you can use a set of commands which you can store that commands in one file, and you can pass that command file to this command option, so that you can execute your commands from that file sequentially. So, and also the batch, you can run this command file using the batch option. So if you specify a batch option, then it will run in batch mode and exit with the status 0 after processing all the command files specified with the -x option. So you can also you can delete the breakpoints as well using this delete command. And help command, as I showed that help, you can you can by using help command, it will show you the information about the GDB commands. And using quit, you can exit from the GDB interact room. So it means how useful are debuggers. So debuggers can be great for seeing how small programs execute, great for certain types of problems, like identifying the line on which the program crashes, and seeing state of procedures stack at crash, less useful of non-crashing programs as well. So there are some disadvantage for the debuggers also. So it's not available on some systems. And also system dependent useful user interface. Too many low level details. Clicking over statements is tedious, and also like deal poorly with the large amount of data in the case of large amount of data. So so next is the file list in GDB commands. As we talk about that command file, that command option. So using that command file, this is a GDB file made for lines that are GDB commands. So this is means where you can use this. This is where you write a GDB command. In case if you have means many scripts which taste different things. So you can tell GDB to look at that particular script. So by adding the command and that the GDB command file as an argument with the while running the GDB. So the lines in a command files are executed sequentially. Means whatever you lines commands you specified in that GDB file, it will execute sequentially. So they are not printed as they are executed. So, and if an error in command means an error in any command terminates execution of the command file and control is returned to the console. Means if any error occurs during that executing that commands, then it will the control is returned to the console immediately. So commands that would ask for confirmation if used interactively proceed without asking when used in command file. Many GDB commands that normally print messages to say what they are doing omit the message and when called from command files. So let's take an example. I have a GDB command file example. So this is my GDB file. I have means this the extension is .gdb file. So here I have a code where I want to add a breakpoint on the main function, and still I want to continue with the backtrace, and I want to run the next execution of the code. And after that, I want to quit that execution. So here, so how exactly this code runs? Let's take an example. So I have this program 3.c. It has a segmentation fault error because in that case, I have a list of, means I have an array. So I'm trying to access the array beyond the size, means out of size. So it will return the segmentation fault. So in this case, I have the same file which I show .gdb file here. So I want to execute this command sequentially by using this GDB file. So first I will compile the code. Yeah, the code is compiled now. So I want to execute using this GDB command. So I have created this GDB command using this program 3 debug.gdb using .gdb extension. So and also I want to run this this GDB file in the batch mode. So I don't want to I don't want to run it in interactive mode. So I will run in batch mode. So and that command file name is and your executable name. So here, if I have an argument in the case of my, suppose I have I'm taking a command line argument in this case. So you can specify using the -ups option, and you can specify your command line arguments as well. So right now I don't have any command line argument. So I'm just, yeah, here you can see each command which I will specify in that program 3 debug.gdb file, it will execute. So, and it will generate the output GDB output file. So here you can see that the whole output is logged into this output file. So exactly how this this code this line by line I'll show, means I will tell you means how these commands are executed. So what happens here, I'm turning off the page, I'm turning off the pagination off. So I don't have to press enter for every page. So that's why I have this pagination off. So I declare that I want to log all the output to the GDB file. So as we see that as we saw that the GDB dot output file is getting created because I'm logging all the output to this file. So for that, I'm using that set logging file. GDB dot output is my file name. So when then I start logging GDB's output, and I set a breakpoint on the main function. So here I added breakpoint on the main function, and also I use a command, this command, and the number, the breakpoint number, that is 1. So right now I have a command and the breakpoint number is 1. So so I am specifying it the command 1, and in that so it indicates that this is our first breakpoint to provide the commands that I want to run whenever GDB hits that breakpoints. And as you can see that I'm just printing the backtrace and then continue until the GDB hits another breakpoints. So right now I don't have another breakpoint. I have just one breakpoint, that is main. So if you add another breakpoint, then it will continue to that breakpoint. So now that everything is set, and it will run your code. So after that, after running the code, it will logging off the set logging which we set which we enabled to log in to the gdb.out file. So it will logging off that, and then it will quit. So it will after so this quit, if you enter this quit command on the interactive mode, it will ask for the yes or no permission. So here, as we are using a batch mode, so it will not ask for the permission. So it will quit by taking an answer as a yes. So yeah, this is regarding the skip which we run. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.